Hi guys, I'm Kalila Reynolds and I want to tell you today about an offer that opens on June 28, 2019. It's Eppley Caribbean Property Fund Value Fund, and with me now to tell me all about it, I have the CEO of Eppley, Nicholas Scott, as well as CEO of NCP Capital Markets, Stephen Gooden, and NCP Cap is leading the deal. Hi Nick, hi Stephen.
Thanks for having us. Sure.
What is Eppley Caribbean Property Fund?
So the Eppley Caribbean Property Fund is an existing fund. It's based in Barbados and it's been around for 20 years. It's one of the largest owners of commercial property in the Caribbean. It owns 6 high quality commercial properties with an attractive yield, and it's existed in the Eastern Caribbean. Eppley bought it and took control of it a year ago, and we're really excited to cross-list it on the Jamaica Stock Exchange and to give the Jamaican investing public a chance to own regional real estate.
And you say cross-list because it's already listed on the Trinidad and Tobago Stock Exchange and the Barbados Stock Exchange.
It's listed there, but just to give you a sense, Kalia, we trade in Jamaica in 1 week what they trade in those stock markets in an entire year.
Wow.
So the amount of shares that have traded last year on the stock exchange was 800 times what they traded in Barbados. So it's definitely listed, but listing it on the Jamaica Stock Exchange is a whole other ball game.
I actually called the TTSC this morning and they said it hadn't traded there at all.
Right, exactly. So I mean, this is a dual benefit. It gives our existing shareholders, and by the way, there are 2,000 of them regionally already. This is a significant company. It gives those investors liquidity for the first time, the ability to access hard currency if they move their shares to the Jamaica Stock Exchange. And it gives Jamaican investors that want regional exposure a chance to diversify their holdings. So it's really a win-win.
Tell me about the details of the offer now, Stephen.
The offer officially opens on Friday, the 28th of June, and it closes 14 days after, which is the 12th of July. However, we reserve the right to close early. We're seeking to raise a minimum of $4.5 billion with the ability to upsize, and it's going to be 97 million units.
And the price?
$46.18.
Talk to me about that share price, because like I said, I called the TTSC this morning. I also checked the Barbados Stock Exchange, and that price is higher than what it trades for on both those exchanges. So how did you arrive at that price?
Well, the pricing is very simple in this case, because all we do is we own 6 properties. They're independently appraised, so experts come and value them twice a year. In this case, the most recent time was in March. And all the share price is the independently appraised value of the properties divided by the number of shares. You're right that in Trinidad and Barbados, the most recent trade is different, but as you said earlier, it hasn't really traded in Trinidad. And so that amount of thin volume means that those numbers aren't really comparable to holding it in a country like Jamaica where there's an active market.
So this is one of the bigger IPOs in recent times. For comparison's sake, Wigton was $5.5 billion.
Right.
What's the intention for the funds?
There's a pipeline of properties that are to be acquired. Some properties have already been acquired using debt financing. Part proceeds will be used to refinance that debt as well as to acquire new properties. There are approximately $15 billion worth of properties in the pipeline.
So of the $4.5 billion, $2 billion, we're going to use it right away and buy buildings. And there are 5 of them, and they're all disclosed in the prospectus. They're Jamaican and Barbadian properties. They're all tenanted, all income producing. They have an average yield of 9.3%.
Explain what that means.
Sure. The amount of rental income that you get a year is 9% of the price you pay. So if you pay for it, you get 9% every year, and you get it paid from companies that you've heard of who are our tenants. Our tenants are Deramon, our tenants are Access, our tenants are Sagicor, our tenants are Island Grill.
Musson.
They're Musson as well. Roughly half the money is 5 properties. What Stephen's saying is the other half is a wider regional acquisition pipeline that we think is going to take between 6 to 12 months. And we can't say exactly what those are, but we can tell you they're active negotiations with 9 people in a variety of countries.
The company also has assets in Barbados already.
That's right.
Also has several properties. And I was looking through the prospectus, even with the purchases in Jamaica, Jamaica would still be a minority. You'd still have the majority, 79% held in Barbados. We've all been hearing about the Barbadian economy lately under an agreement with the IMF that started, I think, last year under the new administration. How confident are you that things are going to turn around, because the economy has impacted property prices in Barbados?
So, Khalila, we're value investors. We believe you make returns by buying at a good value. And we were investing heavily in Jamaica in 2009 when people were saying, hey, there's an IMF program and et cetera. We're really happy we did, because all of us as Jamaicans have benefited from that appreciation. Now we're at a different point in the cycle, and we certainly like Jamaica, but we know a good deal when we see one. And as a Jamaican, it looks very familiar. Brand new government, IMF program, tax reform,
Debt
restructuring being completed, at least half of it. This is, we think, reminiscent of Jamaica in 2009, and that's one of the reasons why a year ago Eppley decided to buy this fund, because we're taking the Jamaican experience that we had and we're seeking to replicate it in Barbados.
But Stephen, you know that these IMF programs aren't always successful. Jamaica's had several goes at it before, the current success.
But given the level and significance of the reforms that have been undertaken in Barbados, we are fairly bullish on Barbados as well. Since the IMF agreement has been signed, the macroeconomic fundamentals and the fiscal situation of the government has improved significantly, and it's our expectation that it will continue to improve to the point where we have even committed our own balance sheet to acquiring assets in Barbados.
Dividends, that's what a lot of people like to hear about. What's the dividend policy?
The fund pays up to 100% of its dividends.
Up to 100%?
Up to 100%, yeah. The way we think
Annually?
Annually. The way we think about it, Khalila, is if you own a commercial property yourself, think about how you manage that. You receive rent, you pay your expenses, you may pay your mortgage, and then you may think, do I need to fix the roof? If not, you use all that money. And we're really no different. This is a simple investment. So we distribute up to 100% of our dividend, of our income and dividends. That's usually about 6%. And because it's from a CARIC for Jamaican investors, because that's from a CARICOM country to a Jamaican investor, there are no withholding tax on that. So it's very it's very tax efficient as well. And so that income and that dividend yield is a reason why we're seeing strong interest in the company.
I noticed that you guys have already done a fairly good job in turning things around for some of the properties that weren't performing so well since you've taken over last year.
Right. So, I mean, when we looked at it last year, we wanted to bring our experience and track record. So at Eppley, we've generated a 34% compounded return since we went public in 2013. And the discipline and the focus and the value investing approach is what we wanted to bring to bear. And you're right, in the first year, we've increased the earnings by 60% by renegotiating leases, by buying out our partners in some of the bigger buildings.
So the Jamaican properties you're looking to purchase, well-known places, landmarks.
Correct.
The three of them, what are they?
There's the Empire Shopping Center, which is in Crossroads, at 37,000 square feet. The supermarket there, operated by Sampars, is one of the highest revenue per square feet supermarkets in Jamaica. That's one. The other two are industrial assets. Well, one is on Marcus Garvey Drive, very close to the Kingston Container Terminal, very close to both Portmore and Kingston and that nexus. So it's an important distribution asset. And the last one is Angels Industrial Estate, which is the largest. It's 120,000 square feet of warehouse space.
The prospectus is now out. You can download it from NCB's website.
That's
Stephen?
correct. So www.ncbcapitalmarkets.com, and you can also apply for your shares using our Go IPO platform, goipo.jncb.com. And it's pretty seamless. You can apply for your shares from the comfort of your home or office via your PC or your mobile device. Right, and it saves you the problem of having to go into a physical location and wait an hour or two in a line. You can simply apply for your shares. Maximum time, I'd say 4 to 5 minutes, using our Go IPO platform.
I love Go IPO. It saves you so much time. And let me give you the last word then, Nick. Make the pitch. Why should people invest in Eppley Caribbean Property Fund?
This is an opportunity for all Jamaican investors, large and small, to own their piece of the Caribbean, to own a high-quality portfolio of income-producing real estate in a liquid and tax-efficient form.
Okay, thanks, Nick. Thanks, Stephen. Lots of useful information there. So the offer opens on Friday, June 28, 2019. It closes on July 12. I'm Kalila Reynolds. Later.